final? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I don't like making predictions because they're always wrong. Okay, welcome everybody to game number 5 of Max versus Elix right here. This is the final game of the series because it is best of 5, and we've got all the way to the end. A very close series, back and forth the whole way throughout, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this 5th game will develop. We do have the final civs of the series, Mayans for Max in the south, and Lix in the red, playing as the Indians here. Indians versus Mayans is a powerhouse matchup if there ever was one. In fact, all of the civs today have been very enjoyable. Obviously, non-mirrors throughout. Some very interesting matchups, some very interesting games. Max, as the Mayans, going to be just very comfortable with this civ. Obviously, he is an arena player. Mayans do feature in arena a lot in team games. And they are just one of those classic AOC, AOK, well, I don't want to say AOK civs because they're obviously from AOC, but, you know, old school civs that everybody's played 1,000 times over. The Indians, however, a little bit newer to the scene. Obviously, they're the oldest, or one of the oldest of the new civs. The Indians were introduced with the Forgotten Empires when that was originally released. But, yeah, the Indians are a very comfortable civ to play. They're a very safe pick. We've talked about them extensively over the escape gaming tournaments in the last year, mostly due to the fact that the Indians were seen so very much. I'm sure you guys have probably seen more of the Indians than the Mayans even in the last year alone, since we've been doing a lot of these events with the expansion civs. Max coming in immediately though, stealing a boar, and he knows that Lix is not going to hold back from a boar steal, so why should he? And he's going to grab that boar and bring it in straight away, wasting no time on that. And at the same time, I want to take a quick look at Max's map, because it does look very open to me. On the left side, for example, his woodline here is very far from his town center. It's very exposed, and it's quite difficult to wall this up safely. I think he's going to have a hard time defending his map here, and even with the gold kind of positioned on this hill to the left of his TC, I do feel like it may be a challenge to defend this, and Lix may want to play a little more aggressively, perhaps. The problem is, aside from a very fast scout rush, the Indians aren't a civ which particularly flourish with a high aggressive playstyle, I think. In my opinion, the Indians are more of a civ which wants to counter and defend, and then take advantage of their superior economy thanks to their cheaper villagers, and their really strong late game with their camels and their gunpowder. That's kind of how I feel like the Indians want to take it, but with a map like this, maybe Lix wants to consider the scout rush into some more aggression early in the Castle Age. But Max right now going to grab two of Lix's sheep as well. And obviously he's still got 2 sheep in his own base, which he can find later on. There's also 2 sheep on the right side, which he can grab as well. So he's actually got a lot of food here if he grabs all of it. And it looks like he will succeed in grabbing all of it, because Lix is taking the time to push the deer to obviously make up for the fact that he does not have one of his boars right now. So Lix down by a boar, down by 2 sheep. Max up by a boar and up by 2 sheep. It's going to be a very nice start for Max, and probably lead him into some nice early aggression. Probably expecting to see a barracks and man-at-arms from him. That would be my best guesstimate, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. With all this surplus food, I would not be surprised if man-at-arms are on the table for him. Making a nice transition into archers, perhaps, in the Castle Age. The barracks is coming up now, and we'll see a couple of villas potentially going over to stone very soon. He's also oh no, he did do loom. Oh, wait, hold on. He's the Mayans, of course. He does loom straight away. Ignore me. I just saw Lix doing loom quite late, and I thought that was quite nice because he delayed it for as long as possible. And that's good, making up for the fact that he had a little bit of I don't want to say a bad Dark Age, just a little bit of a reduced Dark Age, let's say. He is up to the feudal age quite quickly, and he's looking pretty solid here, I think. just wondering what his game plan's going to be once he gets there. He could go man-at-arms as well. But so far, no villagers moved over to gold, so it seems unlikely. I am expecting to see scouts, even though he has lost all that food. He's still got a lot of food in the bank. He's still got this deer left. And he's really delaying his farms. So if you can try and get horse collar before the first farm comes up, that is the preferable way to go. Max going heavy onto the gold. Maybe he's considering Eagle Warriors as a follow-up here. With 5 vills on gold, it seems likely, unless he's planning on dropping an archery range quite quickly and following with archers. That could also be on the cards. But he seems like he could set up to go straight into Eagles as well off the back of this 3 militia man-at-arms push. The stable for the Indians coming up, as expected. 3 villagers on the stable as well. He wants it as quickly as he possibly can get it. Rushing the stable up here. Double time. As he wants to get those units out ASAP. Max, of course, already arriving with his militia by the time the first scouts are even queued. And he's going to try and slip under the town center here. Lick's having none of it. And he's going to end up getting his scout quite low there as well to the TC fire. But men-at-arms coming through. And Lix is defending the right side of his base quite nicely with these walls. Like I said earlier on, his map does not seem too bad for walling up. So we'll see if these men-at-arms can do anything. Maybe they'll attack a bit of palisade wall and keep him busy. But I hope that, yeah, Max will go into range. I feel like this is the way to go here, because if Lix is walled, then making Eagles makes no sense, because you cannot penetrate those walls. It makes sense to make archers and just fire over them instead. And of course, the Mayans, I said Incas there for some reason, but the Mayans are a great archer civ as well. So looks like Max is off to a really solid start. And if you look under his TC as well, this is more evidence of that. He still has a sheep left. He's not even placed a farm yet. That's really significant, because compare that to Lix right now. The investment in farms is huge already, and that's just because he lost those boar earlier on. And the sheep, of course, as well. So no farms for Max yet. Delaying your farms is a good thing. And if Max can now get wheelbarrow, wheelbarrow from Lix is coming in. But if he can get horse collar before a single farm comes up, that's great. Obviously, he's been able to save a lot of wood. He's getting a faster blacksmith now as a result. And it just makes this transition really nice to start putting your first farms up. Lix, on the other hand, having to build so many farms so quickly is not so great. I want to highlight that Lix did clean up the militia and the men-at-arms. A couple of low HP scouts there as Max pushes out. And he's looking for the counter-attack. But Max has walled off his left side. As I say, this is not such an easy wall for a map for Max, but he is walling with his buildings, so he's doing a good job of it. He'll be open on the right side for the time being, but fortunately for him, Lix has come to the left. And for now, he is fully walled. He's even going into Eagle Scouts as well. That's interesting. He's going for Eagle Scouts and Archers, which I'm quite interested in. You would never see that in AOC. You would never see someone making Eagles in the feudal age. But right here, right now, it's happening. And he's pushing Lix off the gold. Lix wants to get a range up, and he probably wants to go skirms. And I think that's the reason why Max is going for the Eagles here. He gets a villager kill in the back too, which is really nice. And he'll try and do what he can with this spearman in here. Come on, spearman. Do your job. Poke these horses with your long stick. But yeah, the left side of Lix's base is open. Max wants to abuse that. He wants to make sure that that stays open. He's immediately sending reinforcements there. And I think what he's anticipating is skirms. I think he's going to be completely on the money, because you can see that skirms are being queued by Lix. And that's really, really common for the Indians, getting the skirms out after the initial scouts. Because, like I said, they want to play a little more defensively. And skirmishes are the way to do that. They also have a really solid food eco, so skirms make sense to go into that. Then you don't need as many villagers mining gold, and you can work your way to the castle age a little faster. I feel like skirms in this case with the Indians are probably even faster than archers, in terms of reaching the castle age. But this is very good for Max. He's forced Lix to build a tower. He's forced Lix into these defensive skirms, and he's already prepared the Eagles with +1 defense. Max maybe not going to have the best fight right here, though. We'll have to wait and see. The archers are in too small numbers, and they are getting separated from the Eagles, which are surrounded by the scouts at the back. The Eagles are going to be taken down while the archers are pushed away and chased down by these ravenous skirmishers. But at the moment, I got to commend Max for his army composition. I think Max will probably be behind in the Castle Age upgrade. His wheelbarrow is coming in quite late. Compared to Lix, who had wheelbarrow a good 3 or 4 minutes ago, I think Lix will certainly have the food income edge at this stage of the game. And we can check that even. I want to check the achievements here real quick. Look at the food collected. Lix is a little bit ahead there. Probably not as much as I anticipated, actually. I thought it might be a bigger gap. But he does have more food in the bank right now, and he will be clicking up to the Castle Age first, I believe. Question is, can he get walled up on the left side before Max can keep the pressure on and continue to aggress him on this left flank? I think he will be able to wall it up. Max might be able to bust his way through, though. 200 health on these houses, certainly making them an easy target. And Lix isn't closing the hole. Lix, not like this. Not like Lix. Oh, yeah, he's closed it. Okay. He's closed it. Will he be able to stop this, though? I'm not sure. The house is going to go down really quickly once the Eagles start attacking it. There you go. Lix very smartly there, very shrewdly adding a market behind, out of range of these archers. He knows he cannot afford to be breached right here. He absolutely has to keep Max out of his left flank. In the meantime, he'll counter-attack with the scouts that he has. But yeah, I feel like Lix here, interesting, transitioning now into camels, I believe, as the Bloodlines tech's coming in. And I think I heard a second stable going up. So those Castle Age camels from the Indians, going to be very strong. Going to be effective against archers. Going to be effective against eagles. I think he's in a position to do damage once he hits the Castle Age. He's just going to hold out until then. And this villager is doing a very admirable job of defending for as long as possible. Building up a cluster of walls here. And for now, just keeping Max out. But yeah, buildings, of course, being nerfed a little bit in terms of their defensive ability. They'll get extra health when they reach the next stage. As you can see, the gate there getting some extra health. But right now, Castle Age is in. He can start his camel production. Or so I would assume. He's being greedy and going for 2 TCs as well, though. Ooh, Lix a greedy boy. Do you think Max is going to go for a 2nd and 3rd TC, chat? I think Max might put down a siege workshop here. He might consider another barracks even. But maybe a 2nd TC. I want to see Max down 1 TC. Lix being a greedy boy, like I say. 2 TCs immediately coming up. He's not rushing them either. Only 2 villagers on this one. As Max breaks through the wall on the left side. Rushes on through. Will he deny the TC? That would be huge if he gets this. Eagle Warriors coming in. +2 defense is coming in. He's waiting for the tech. Lix, on the other hand, already got +3 on his camels. Bloodlines. Problem with the camels is they're low DPS, though. And that Eagle Warrior tech is about to finish, as well as the +2 for Max. So I think he can take a realistic fight here. Backed up by crossbows. He's got a very nice composition, and Lix will be denied that TC. This is starting to go very well for Max here. He is staying on the 1 town center as well. I think you can sense that he is in a very good position. I think he can smell the victory. So I am really feeling right now that Max is just going to abuse his position here and just try and keep the pressure on. Antonator in the chat. Very strange that that's happening. I have no idea why that is, because I stream in mono. Everybody that I'm aware of will stream and create content in mono, a single audio channel. So surround shouldn't even make a difference. Anyway, good fight here. Lix, it's going to be interesting to see if he can win this fight. Like, If he wins this fight, it really is just a testament to how goddamn OP these Indian camels are. Holy shit, they just don't die. Look at that. They just don't die. Eagles, of course, not as good versus camels compared to knights. They don't have an attack bonus, I don't think. Whereas against knights they do, but my god. It's disgusting. They're just so good. He just doesn't die. Max is getting chewed up and spat out by these camels. I think eventually his army may just about push him away, but jeez Louise. That is nuts. Licks with 37 kills, 21 deaths. And these camels are cheaper than knights as well to boot. My goodness. Well, there you go. Indian camels, everybody. Max now adding his second and third TC. I really thought he could make that aggression work. But Licks holding on. And the CC will go back up on that stone there. I can't believe that. That was a really impressive defense from those camels. They're just so goddamn good. We got Monk out at the back for Licks as well, and he engages once more. Max's upgrades looking... I think they're about the same as they were, but I think Licks is just a little bit too outnumbered now. And Licks here gets his TC up, so he gets the defensive bonus of that TC on the hill there. Max's aggression kind of being slowed a little bit here. Maybe he'll want to add a siege workshop next and pressure this TC with some siege. The problem is the camels can snipe the siege as well. The maneuverability advantage that they have is formidable. Sanctity coming in for Max right now, so the Monk's going to be a little tankier here, which is important. This is really, I think, the key. The Monk's getting the conversions, certainly going to help. And I think Max is still in a stronger position. I do believe that he is still in the better position here. I'm just waiting to see that siege workshop. I think he's waiting for the wood so he can put it down. The Monks, if they can get a couple of conversions, he can easily turn the fight. As Licks puts down a third stable now, trying to bolster his camel production. Absolutely got to keep those camels coming out. Licks feeling the pressure now. And this is very reminiscent of game 2 and game 4, where Max has kind of just got this sort of forward location which he's just continuously pressuring from. And both game 2 and 4 were the ones that Max did this, were the games that he won. So he's probably thinking similar things to last time. Licks here trying to go with the forward siege workshop. Again, elementary, dear Watson. Losing the villager as he goes there unprotected. What was he thinking? Did he expect that he'd make a mangonel there and actually kill this TC? Like, let's be real. It's not going to happen, is it? Lick's going for the 4 TC on the right side. And you can absolutely do this with the Indians because their villagers at this stage are only costing them 40 food apiece. So going out to the flank and making a 4 TC, no problem. You can still make camels. He's going to chase down Max's army in the center of the map. And push him right back there. Continuing to finish off his siege workshop as it should have been the first time around. But are these camels weak to crossbows? Not really. They've got 4 pierce... sorry, 3. I can't count. Well, not even count. I mean, it's just right there. I can't read. 3 pierce armor. 120 health, thanks to bloodlines, of course. And, well, they're just killing everything. They are just killing absolutely everything. It's disgusting. They're so, so good. Max now losing grasp of this foothold inside of Lix's base because this push from Lix in the center of the map is just too damn strong. Ram being deployed on the TC for Max here. And I think we're going to see quite a back and forth game. Pikeman now coming out for Max as well. And that might be the answer he needs. Pikes, of course, they do more bonus damage versus knights than they do versus camels. So, again, one of those situations where, okay, they do counter them, but they don't counter them as hard as they would counter knights. Camels are just crazy good. The Monk's here, trying to go for some conversions. He'll get one. But Lix is all over this. He's on it like a car bonnet right now, grouping his units together. However, I do think Max has greater production. He certainly has more military on the field. And he is finally getting +2 attack as well. But if we look at Max, he's got 1, 2, 3 barracks. He's got his archery range as well. So he's producing from 4. And of course the monastery. And comparing that to Lix, he's just on the 3 stables. So Lix is kind of being outproduced a little bit at the moment. Camels are not boats anymore. No, they used to be. But Max now dropping the castle in the center of the map. This is really nice. Very ballsy castle from Max, but I think he recognizes that he's got this military advantage. And he wants to use that now to get away with something that is a little bit more risky. Of course, Lix is going to throw his own castle up. He's having none of it. Sees the castle from Max, immediately puts his own down. Wants to stop Max progressing too far forward here, but a horrible fight for Lix. His camels getting caught out of position, and they are outgunned. He will quickly wall his villagers in, and the castle from Max is out of range, so he cannot take this castle down, but he will be able to start making plumed archers from his own castle here. Lix, meanwhile, is going to the Imperial Age. And I think maybe a big problem for the Indians is going to be the plumed archer. I do think that the plumed archer is going to work very well for Max if he can get some more castles up here. Obviously, the camels are still great, but the plumed archers are cheaper, they're faster, they are very, very good, I believe, in this situation at dealing with the camels. And I think that's the way to go for Max this game anyway. Of course, he has got a lot of eagles, so we may see the elite eagle upgrade coming in to do some raiding damage. In fact, he's going to go do some raiding now. And Lix does not have fletching or bodkin arrows, so his TCs are doing minimal damage to these units. They could actually go in and raid properly, but Max is backing away a little bit scared. He's raiding at the back, though, with these guys, and I think Max is going to start snowballing this game. Lix is going Imperial with 78 villagers. Max is going with 91. Of course, the answer to the plumed archer for Lix is to go for elephant archers, but they're way too expensive and way too slow to get the momentum with them. So I think Max here, onto a winner at the moment, onto a winning position, as he is also on the way up to the Imperial Age himself with the additional 12 villagers. And I'm expecting Max, yeah, to put another castle down any second now as well. He's got great map control. We've seen him use this in the past to great effect. And I think Max will snowball this game. That's my prediction here. Lix doing heavy camel right now. It's one of the slowest researches in the game. Heavy camel takes a long time to research. As Lix here loses his monastery, the 3 relics pop out. And yeah, heavy camel just, he wants it so bad, but it's just so slow. Meantime, getting chemistry, which is again another incredibly slow research. By the time he gets chemistry and he can even start thinking about making hand cannons, Max is already going to have a lot of plumed archers out, and maybe even have teched up into elite plumed archer as well. I don't know if he can afford it. I don't know if he wants to do it because his castle is under fire from a trebuchet. Right now he's going bracer and looking to attack on the north side. He's still got a way into Lix's base on the left. Lix did not close this off, and I think that's a big mistake from him. That could come to bite him later on, as the slow siege starts to get going now. Heavy camel's about to finish. There it is. Lix is has completed hand chemistry as well. But I don't know if Lix has enough here. 18 military versus 74. I don't care if you've got the stronger unit. 18 versus 74. That's not looking like good numbers for Lix right here. Even if he is starting to win this Treb war over here in the center of the map. Looks like we're going to see the Haub tech for Max next. And that again makes a lot of sense. He does have a lot of pikes already. Lix going for the hand cannons, so he's got the counter unit, but it's just too slow. How many hand cannons is he going to be able to make in the next minute? Well, not many. They train way too slowly. In the meantime, Max is fielding like 30 halberdier, 20 plumed archers, and 20 eagles. That is not something that Lix is ready for right now. The Mayans' speed is just their kryptonite at the moment. Lix can't deal with it. Max stealing away with the relics as well. Bank heist from Max as he runs back to his own monastery to deposit them and collect a total of 3 now. Lix just trying to buy time, just trying to stall, I think, and Max needs his way through. Ah, Shatagni coming in. That's the one that gives him quicker gold income from his gold mines. And all sources of gold. I believe it's 20% or 10% faster. Let me check that. Oh no, that's Sultan's. Shatagni is the hand cannon's extra range. Sultan's is the 10% faster gold. My bad. Shatagni +1 range on the hand cannons. Yeah, that's okay. But Max still has a lot of plumes out here. Sorry, I got them mixed up. My bad. I'm a mega noob idiot caster. But Lix here, neglecting to go for the Imperial Camel just yet. He's also pot blocked at 135. He lost his castle. That is a problem. He needs houses, man. What's he gonna do without houses? Not make any military? Oh yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Lix is losing villages as well. Raiding with Halbs. This game is looking scary for Lix. Fortunately, as Killer B would say, he does have a clandestine economy on the east of the map, which is currently not being found by Max. Max is playing very tunnel visioned here down the center of the map. But he's going to find it eventually with his scouting Halbs. But the main bulk of Lix's economy is in trouble. The Imperial Camel Tech is on the way, but he might lose most of his camels by the time it's researched. He doesn't have +4 attack either. My goodness, these guys are so tanky with 5 pierce armor, but all the camels are dying so quickly, and the Imperial Camel just isn't there. There's not enough damage from the hand cannons. The plumed archers are too damn strong, and Lix is going to break his front line. Imperial Camels, where were you? Questionable decision to go Shatagni before Imperial Camel here. The +1 range is really not as useful as having that beefier front line. Look at the difference here. The extra health coming in a second when they upgrade. Did he cancel it? Oh, he cancelled it. Oh, that's interesting. He either cancelled it or the stable was destroyed. Pick one. I think he cancelled it. I think he's trying to save his resources here and focus more on just getting more raw units out. But GG, I think, has got to be called soon. Max is going to find the eco on the right side. That is not going to be allowed to exist for much longer. Meanwhile, Lix is losing everything in the center of the map. I'm expecting Max to go elite plumed fairly soon. Obviously, there's a lot of hand cannons out, and the plumes are the best unit he's got to deal with them right now. He's running them in, sniping off the bombard cannon first and foremost. Imperial Camel's coming back in for Lix. I'm wondering if the stable was destroyed, but it doesn't matter because he's calling GG, and Max is going to get the victory after 5 games in this best of 5 series. And what a fantastic series it was. A really great way to start the tournament. We get to see the whole series, all 5 games played, and 5 very, very good games as well. Entertaining from the start, very enjoyable to watch. Obviously, non-mirror civs, and really nice playstyles from both of these guys. Max with his really aggressive forwards, Lix with his aggressive styles as well, but also his yeah, I guess the games he won, he played nice and aggressive, and I commend him for that. I think that was kind of a theme, in fact, in all of these games. All of these games featured the one player with this sort of like forward aggression, getting the edge. Very enjoyable series. Very nice games from both of these guys. Congratulations to Max. He will get his victory 3-2 and progress to the next round. Guys, I will be back tomorrow. I will be streaming more of this tournament. I'll be back at 14 GMT tomorrow. So 2 hours later than today's stream. I'll be back 14 GMT tomorrow. That's 2 PM, obviously, in the UK.